Mwebale ba UNIQE Media. Samike ge manya gange era nga tuli ku YouTube. You can like, share and comment. Anentera nnyo bagamba nti stories zenkola ziba zeetaaga okulaba nga oli open minded ebiseera ebisinga, so don't judge people nga tonnaba kutegeera story mu bulamba bwayo. So comment naye nga commentinga respectfully. Samike is my name. Olunaku lwaleero omuntu gwe nnyina leero gwe tugenda oba ntwogerako oba ngenda oba nga njogerako naye tategeera bulungi Luganda, tagetosobola bulungi Luganda, so tugenda aba tukyusa mu lulimi tukole Oluzungu. Njagezaako nga wensobola okuvuunula abalayi bange babe nga bategeera we tutambulira. We are going to be using English today because my guest on the panel does not know how to speak Luganda properly. So basically we shall be discussing in English, and I will try as much as possible to translate for my viewers who are not well conversant with English. We are going to be discussing about a sensitive topic, especially in Uganda, LGBT IQ. I don't know whether I've said it correctly. Have I said it correctly, Christian?
It's LGBTQIA.
We are going to be discussing about that today, and we are going to know the myths, the challenges these people face in Uganda, and of course so many other things that I know you don't know out there. How are you?
Okay, and you?
I'm good. What's your name?
Christian.
You have one.
Kenyanjui.
You're Christian?
Kenyanjui.
How's the going?
It's okay. And yours?
Mine is fine. So, Christian, I'm going to be using the name Christian often. Let's start with the differences between those letters you've said. LGBT, I stop there. The others I don't know. Let's start with, first and foremost, how does it, the full thing, how does it end?
It is LGBTIQ.
So let's start with L.
Okay, L is lesbian. A lesbian is a woman who is in love with another woman or attracted to another woman sexually.
So basically, lesbian is a woman to a woman.
Yeah.
Then LG.
G is gay. Gay is a man who loves a man, or a man who is attracted to a fellow man.
Okay.
Yes.
B.
B is bisexual. Bisexual is basically a person who falls in love with both sexes.
What do you mean both?
We have male, female. So a bisexual person can feel for a woman and at the same time have feelings for a man.
So basically, a bisexual can either love a man or a woman. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Okay. Then then T.
LGBT.
Then T.
Then T is transgender, which means this is someone who does not feel that the gender they were assigned at birth, they don't feel that. They feel the gender they were assigned at birth isn't their gender.
Why do you use the word assigned?
Assigned at birth.
Why? Why do you use the word assigned at birth?
For a trans person, it means you were born in that wrong gender, because they assign us genders when we're born based on the genitalia. They say you're a male, you're a female. But a trans person feels that isn't their gender. They feel they are another gender.
I
Then I is intersex, which means someone born with two sexual organs. Yes. And
Then
this can
Q.
be corrected through surgery. Yes. Yes.
Then Q.
Then Q means queer. Queer is basically a person who it means like everyone falls in this umbrella. So in simple terms, it just means someone who is gay. The word queer, it basically means everyone, LG, are all queer people. Yes, so if someone says I'm queer, it's just like a general term. Yes.
So any other category? LGBT. I think we are done. LGBT.
There is LGBTQIA.
IA.
Yes, so A has two meanings. So there are two A's. So there's one A which is asexual. This one is simple. It means a person who has no sexual feelings.
Are those people there?
Yes, they're there.
People who don't have sexual feelings.
Yes.
Isn't that a medical issue?
No. No.
Okay. Then another A.
Then the other A is ally. Ally means someone who supports the LGBTQ community.
So necessarily, he or she doesn't have to be falling under what you've been telling us, but as long as you support.
Yes, a straight person is an ally. Yes.
Now, where do you fall?
Actually, I fall in the T. Yes.
You said those are the kind of people that love both female and male.
No, 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 no. These are people who don't feel that the gender,
Or they were assigned
yes, is their gender. Oh, yeah, basically, assigned at birth just means your gender you were born in, the birth gender, that isn't your gender. Yes.
So you believe you're a woman.
Yes. A woman who was born in a man's body. Yes.
When did you get to know this?
There's no clear answer, but for me, I started feeling I was a girl ever since I was 4. Yes, ever since I was 4.
What do you mean feeling?
Like I just knew I was a girl. I didn't like the boys' things. I didn't, things to do with boys would make me uncomfortable. So I would always want dolls. I would always want dresses. I'd want to have hair. Yes. But I didn't know that transgender existed or gay or anything like that.
Okay, kangezeeko okunyonyola abantu bange abooluganda. I'm talking to Christian. Christian is a transgender person who believes he was born, he believes he's a woman in a man's body. Am I right?
It would be she. She.
Oh, okay. She believes, yes, she believes she's a woman born in a woman's body.
No. Born in a man's body.
Kushana tetombuzabuza. You've said a transgender. Let me get this correctly. You've said a transgender is a person who is born. Now, for example, you're saying you're a woman born inside a man's body.
Yes.
Then you've told me that a lesbian is a person who loves woman and a woman. Gay, man, and man. You said queer. Is it queer? Queer.
Queer, queer.
Okay. Is a person. Actually, you've said that is a term to mean everything.
Yes.
It means you're a gay person. Okay. So, how has it been like living in Uganda?
As a trans person?
Yes, yes.
Well, it's not been so easy because people are still narrow-minded and it's not so much talked about. Actually, I think it isn't talked about, so it isn't as understood as it should be. So people end up seeing you as what they perceive you to be because of myths or things they've heard. Like no one like sits down and says, let's get into what this is about. Everyone just goes by the bandwagon effect and says, these are people who basically do this, meaning they're this, and they wrap us all into one thing. And yet we're just like other people, we're different. Some people are born rich, some are poor, some don't study, some like basically we're just like straight people. We're just people. Yes.
What are some of the myths about this whole LGBT community?
So in Uganda, I've heard things like you're recruited in schools, you know, people come and give you money and, start using you for sex. Or maybe you reach university and then you meet someone who starts giving you money.
That's a reality, Christian.
No, it's not.
I've actually seen people come out and, saying they were recruited into this and that, and now they have health issues.
Actually, I don't know where that came from, but you can't recruit someone. Like, I can't just come to you and say, hey, here's 1 million, become gay. Like, it cannot happen. So, unless you are, and then the money, you need something, and then you accept the money. Because I also see it with straight people, girls especially tend to reach a certain point where they get money from sugar daddies or whatever, and they're used for sex. So that's the same thing with LGBTQ people. Some who can't afford things, or maybe some who have been kicked out of their homes and you have no option but to get into that, like you're so desperate, so you end up selling yourself. That's how best I can say it.
So, according to you, there's nothing like recruiting anyone.
There is nothing like that.
So that's a myth.
Yes.
Any other myth?
What else have I heard? Also, I've heard that you're demon possessed if you are gay or lesbian or transgender. So you need to be prayed for, and then once they pray for you, the demon goes away and you get back to, being straight. So that's what I've heard as well. I've seen, a lot of pastors like Sempa, who else? Leading this movement, of praying for people and, which really isn't true. Because as you can see, you're with me, but
But don't you think they have a point? Because do you believe in God?
no.
You don't believe in God.
Yes. I'm an atheist. Yes.
Uh, then my question somehow might be relevant, but I was going to ask you something about God, this whole thing of the Bible. God created man and woman. Why do you people have to change it?
Oh, yes, actually, I grew up in a Christian family and I was raised to be a Christian. And at one point, I used to serve in church and all of that. Then I left at some point. So, yes, in Leviticus, it does say, it's an abomination for a male to lie with a male. There are many religious people that have used the Bible, to say that, it's a sin, it is against God, because even in Romans, it does say that, homosexuals will not inherit the kingdom of God. So, because I'm atheist, I wouldn't believe that. Because I believe there isn't a God. So, and also why I discredit that is because we have feelings, It's something real, someone really falls in love with someone of the same sex. And, like for trans people, you really do feel that isn't your gender. So if it's a sin, why does it come? If it wasn't, I don't think it would, come. Like, the feelings or the emotions.
So you're feeling you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Yes.
How does your family feel about you coming out as a transgender?
Of course, they wouldn't. They didn't like it. Like I said, it's an African conservative family, so they didn't take it like in the West where people go, "Yay, congratulations, that's who you are." No, it wasn't that.
So are you on good terms with them now?
I would say not everyone. And I've chosen to start like my own life. So I'm only picking people who support and love me for who I am. So I'm okay with some, but not okay with everyone. Yeah.
So do you people have sex?
It depends on you as a person.
I'm talking about you.
Oh, you mean me?
Because I'm with Christians, I'm talking about you.
Yes, I like sex, so yeah. Yes.
With your fellow man.
In this case, it wouldn't be a fellow man. Yes.
Christian. What do you mean?
Like I explained earlier, in this case,
In this case, you're a woman.
yes. Yeah.
So is it true that in the long run, as you guys are enjoying your sexual life as partners or any other people that are in a relationship, is it true that somewhere, somehow, you get health issues? And down there in the streets, I hear people saying at a certain point, you wear diapers.
I've also heard about that, but I wouldn't agree with it because I've seen lots of people who have had sex for like 20 years and they're fine. And I think it's just the way you have sex. If you don't have safe sex, I think you will have complications, just like straight people.
So in this case, what's the safe sex you're talking about?
The safe sex, I would say, is preparing your partner and taking, ensuring that they're okay. If they say they're in pain, I think you need to stop. You need to be gentle. And also, you need to allow, because it's elastic, so I think you should allow it get enlarged instead of just forcing. Because I know some people just get in without even using lubricant or something like that. They just force themselves on someone. Yeah.
Have you heard it?
Generally, I used to, and recently I just stopped.
Why?
Because I didn't feel comfortable. I want to first have gender reassignment surgery, then I can feel comfortable again.
So what do you do with your partner? Nature calls.
Just kissing or. Besides, I'm not really in Uganda. I'm not dating anyone in Uganda, so it's kind of fine. I'm dating someone outside, so it works out just fine.
Okay, Samike gemanya gange UNIQE Media channel joliko ndine Christian tunyumyanyumyamu ku mbeera za LGBT community. The myths zatugambye asose n'atugamba nti myth esooka tebaba recruitinga, then myth eyokubiri waliwo gyawulira nti babeera ne demons ezibambala ye agamba si kituufu, ate era agamba mbu ye nga yeetakiriza mu Katonda nti gyali ya era atugambye nti n'ebyokwambala diapers before. So you can like, share and comment. Notikawo comment yawo nituba nga tugiraba, tujja tambulira mu luzungu kuba omuntu wange gwe naleese weeri muntu wange weeri tamanyi nnyo Luganda, lutegeera naye tasobola kulunnyonnyola bulungi. Do you intend to have kids in future?
Yes, I do.
And how do you intend to do that? I mean, having your own kids.
Yes, my own biological.
Yes, biological. How do you intend to do that?
That, of course, would be a discussion with my partner because I feel that is a discussion for the two of us.
The reason that's why I'm asking that is because, yes, I know you feel you're a woman trapped inside a man's body, but at the end of the day, there are some things that you don't have right now. If you're to make a child, if you want to produce a child, if you want to have a biological child. So, how do you intend to do that?
Actually, that's where you're wrong. I do have what it takes to have a child, just not in the female, like, how can I say it? If I want to have children, I can have them. But of course, it would be through my sperms. But the first step is surgery, then after, then children can come. So there are options. Biological would be through surrogacy or, let me see. Yeah, surrogacy. Yeah. So for those who don't know, surrogacy is basically renting a womb. You get someone, you use their ovaries, they give them your sperm, then you have a child. Yeah, so basically that's the option I'm looking to.
So, you said you came to know yourself when you were 4 years old, and okay, you felt you were a woman, but you didn't know exactly what you were because, of course, you were young. When do you involve yourself into the first relationship? At what age were you?
First relationship, let me see. I think I was 6. Yeah, I was 6.
6 years.
Yeah.
6 years.
Yes. Yeah, I was 6.
By 6 years, we were already in a relationship.
Yeah, it was with this girl, Hanan. Yeah, I forgot to say something. So I'm transgender, but I'm also bisexual.
You said bisexual is what?
You love both genders. Yeah, so I've dated both girls and boys.
How can you be both? How can you be both a transgender and then a bisexual?
Because transgender is just about your gender. It has to do with gender. Then L, G, and B just have to do with your sexuality.
First, say that again. LGBT.
No, LGB
Huh?
basically have to do with your sexuality.
Sexuality.
Yes.
And then,
Transgender just has to do with your gender.
okay.
Yeah.
So basically, what you're trying to mean is that you can be you can be a woman, hmm, loving both women and men, vice versa. What are some of the challenges you faced?
In Uganda and Kenya, I've faced basically the same challenges because Kenya is also third world, and though it's a little bit better than Uganda, but Kenyans are more receptive and they're more open-minded, and basically they mind their own business, so it's kind of like easy. But the challenges have been socially, like friends. Some people be like, that I can't be friends with that, and they shun you and they like show you you're evil and they don't want to be around you. Then bullying also has been. I've gone through that in primary school, so it wasn't so easy. For my Americans, it's elementary school, just. So from like, I think basically the whole of elementary until junior high, for the Ugandan context, that would be O level, senior 1 and senior 2. I was bullied until I was like, enough is enough. And I became a badass and you couldn't mess with me anymore. So from middle school to high school, and now you don't mess with me because, I'll show you what I got. So the other challenges have also been religion, reconciling a Christian child with these feelings has been hard because the church is like, it's wrong, it's against God, blah blah blah, you shouldn't be that. And you feel, and they tell you it's sinful, but then you feel, this is who I am, and how can I be this if I'm a sinner? So it psychologically tortures you, and you end up, going through a lot of things. At one point, I attempted suicide because it was too much to handle, and I thought I would go to hell and all those things. So religion also plays a big role in creating challenges for LGBTQ people, because I believe it is religion that gets into people's minds, and people end up hating what they don't know because the church says this and you feel you're this. So there's a conflict in the middle. But becoming an atheist, like, it took away the pressure, it took away the fear, and I'm living my best life thanks to that. The other challenge, I think, would be, yeah, generally homophobia and transphobia. have been challenges because not everyone you meet is like you and can like sit down with me and like say, okay, let's discuss what this is about. Some be like, huh? That they will run over there, they will feel like beating you up, they will want to like kill you, they will really show you you're not worth being alive. And also social media, some people will comment like negative things or like slide in your DM, and send you negative messages. So for that, I think I can discuss that in solutions. Yeah.
Uh, I guess you've always had criticisms from the society. Actually, you've been saying that Uganda is a third world country and a bit still more primitive. Those were your words. Have you ever taken in the criticisms from the society with an open mind and maybe talk to yourself and be like, okay, don't they have a point somewhere?
No, no, I've never done that. The reason I don't do that is because I don't see their point, because it comes from a narrow-minded point of view. They don't, they speak about what they don't know and what they don't understand. So it's a perception. It's not like in the US. In the US it is understood, and that because of that it is accepted. So because I have support there and also I have support a little bit here, yeah, because I've met Ugandans who actually see it as okay. They're like, yeah, that's who you are. So yeah, we should accept that. So that's why I don't look at the criticism. In fact, these days I block comments, so people are unable to comment negative things on my page. And two, I also I've made my page private. So unless I allow you to view, then you can view. So I first like go through who you are and see if I see something is off, I don't allow you.
Now, Christian, if you people feel what you're doing is right and you feel the rest of the people who are against you are still primitive, why do you live your lives privately? Why do you hide? Why don't you want to engage with people and probably show them that no, you're wrong, this is right, we are this and we are going to live this?
It's a safety measure. And some people feel they're not safe if they come out, so they would rather. I mean, look at the nature of the country. If someone just wore a miniskirt, they would be talked about, they would be demeaned, like, it would be too much. So if they hear you're transgender or you're gay, in Uganda, they would go, what? So that's why some people choose to shut up and just say, you know what, I'll live like a straight person. Then others, like for me, I engage with people, but if I notice you're not receptive, I will have no option but to withdraw. Because I can't fight you, I can't start beating you up and saying, hey, I'm right, you have to accept this. I just have to accept, okay, that's your point of view, and that's what you think. I respect that, and we agree to disagree, basically.
Do you feel you're normal?
Very, very.
Do you believe in the things you're just telling me?
Yes.
Would you wish your kid, that is if you get one, to be a gay person?
Yeah, so like I said, it's still not like understood. These are things you can't choose to be.
Okay, would you be happy?
If my child happened to be gay or lesbian or transgender, I would say, wow, that is who you are. You were born that way. So live life as your true self.
Don't you think you guys are against nature? Because for us, we grew up knowing you're a man, you get yourself a wife, you produce, it goes on and on like that. Don't you think you're against nature? That instead of getting a man getting a woman, you're getting a man and a man. What is the motive behind it?
We aren't against nature. It just happens that that is what we've been told, like from time immemorial, that this is how it's supposed to be, man, woman. You're supposed to get married, you're supposed to study, blah blah blah, you're supposed to do all these things, and then that is the way of life. But as we started seeing, people are starting to raise up issues like this, that what, I don't love, like, let's say I'm a man and I say, hey, I don't love women. When I see a woman, I don't feel anything. Then someone says, when I see a woman, I feel something. But when I also see a man, I feel something. Then another person who is a woman will say, I don't feel anything for men. When I see a woman, that's when I feel something. So that is when we started realizing that there are people who actually don't feel what we've been taught from childhood or from back then, that this is how it is, and so that is why now where people are starting to teach others that there's gay people who fall for the same sex, and that kind of thing. I think that is what makes Ugandans think people are being recruited. We are like any other person. We have feelings, we have emotions, we fall in love. We are basically just like straight people. So once that is understood, I think Uganda would get to a point where they can accept us, and where it's not seen as, we're recruiting or something like that.
But you people recruit.
Who do you know that has been recruited?
I've seen people on social media, I've seen people giving testimonies that you guys recruit. Actually, that's what disturbs my mind, that if it is inborn, why do you have to recruit? Why do you have to recruit with, you people have a lot of money, that's what I hear.
But where does the money come from? Because
From abroad.
Ah. But you see, the thing is, that's what I'm saying. It's so misunderstood, because I hear that all the time. Recruiting, and you're like, because trust me, if that was the case, I would be a millionaire or something. I wouldn't be living in my mom's house, or, depending on, the family. I would be on my own with millions. So I don't think, I actually watched a guy who was beaten up in the slums of Waise. So I was like, you see, not everyone is rich. So if we were being recruited, it would mean that everyone would have money, and it would mean that everyone has a mansion, a car. No one would have to live through those poor conditions.
But you've just said you have, I don't remember how you called it, but you've just said you have support. You have some support that comes from outside.
Oh, by support, I simply meant things like friendship, things like someone accepting you, someone loving you, and of course, someone wanting to see you win. So through scholarships and through funding, things like that.
But sincerely, Christian, what would a man admire from a fellow man?
Well,
What?
people have what they like. So I would take it you're straight. So the same. So what you like about women? They're beautiful. They have nice hair, nice nails. Some have curvy bodies, and that kind of thing. So that you go, wow. But then someone else looks at that muscular body, that tall man, and goes, yeah, I like that.
Okay, Christian yoyo sigenda kubiddamu byo byayogedde era Unique Media channel tuli wano. You can like, share, subscribe, muwulirize bulungi kyotategedde osobola okubuuza mu comments awo nemba nga mukomyawo. Bingi byemba nyina mu bwongo era bingi byemba nsobola okubuuza era bingi byemba njagala obuuza naye olw'obudde oba oliawo ne sisobola. So emanya kineerabidde ng'oyagala okitegeera. I think I can always look for her naaba nga atunnyonnyola. So any last words?
Ugandans need to get to a point where they understand people in general, know their issues, and see how to help them. And we move forward, and like the other countries like America, England, are progressing because they understood who these people were. And because of that, they support them. And, it's legal. You're able to have surgery if you want. And, you're able to live as your true self. Because it helps no one hiding who they are. At the end of the day, that is even how HIV is spread. So, because, someone lies that they are straight, then on the side they have a woman, then on the side they have a man, and then, it's a whole mess. So I just want everyone to be happy. I know it will take a very long time, but I hope Uganda will get there.
Okay. Last but not least, you said you left religion and you don't believe in God. But you can't leave culture. Do you believe in culture? First place, from which what is your culture?
What culture? It would depend on the culture we're talking about, because I don't subscribe to the African culture.
You're an African.
No. I'm not an African. I like to describe myself as an assimilated American.
Wanje?
Assimilated American.
Christian, you're an African.
No.
Where do you come from?
Well, depending on the context, I know a lot of people don't understand when I say where I come from, but when I say where I come from, I like to say I come from LA.
Okay, Samikege Manyagange. That was Christian. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
That is Christian for you. He says he comes from LA. LA. How do they pronounce that word in full?
Los Angeles.
Uganda tugiyita Los Angeles. Okay, Samikege Manyaga, Unique Media channel. You can like, subscribe and comment. Ne tuba netukwasaganya ekintu kino. Ngezaako bagamba nti comment respectively. Tovuma, totyoboola, be open-minded, listen to the story, watch the full story, and then see what you can put down there. Thank you for watching. Samike is my name. Sign out.
Ebyo by'owulidde oba ebyogeddwa mu episode eno si birowoozo bya Unique Media nga channel awamu n'abagikulira, wabula birowoozo by'abantu ssekinnoomu mu kiti kyabwe.